If you really want to know what specifically it was that I saw through Scripture that told me there was more possible to this Christian life, you have to look at Colossians chapter 1, verse 15. It says, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of all creation, for by him all things were created in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things were created through him and for him." This scripture, though, right at the beginning, tells me everything I need to know. Because there's a lot of arguments about what Christianity is, what we have access to, what's for now, what wasn't for now, what was just for the disciples, what was an Old Testament thing, what was a New Testament thing. All of the different arguments you can have about Scripture and about Christianity. This scripture verse put all of those confusion and questions that I had in my own head to rest, which is that Jesus is the visible image of a God that we haven't understood for years and years. We as humanity had the hardest time understanding God, and for the first time, God is able to put in place a living picture for us to know what is in his heart. Because Luke 6:45 says, "Out of the abundance the heart speaks," or it'll speak from its fullness. Whatever is in there, whatever's full up in the heart, that's what will come out. So in other words, what that tells me is Jesus is the living person that came to preach a gospel and live something out so perfectly, but it was all a testament of what God the Father is feeling for us every single day. That Jesus is the painting we look at to figure out who is God really. The Old Testament is the dawn of God's love over humanity. But when Jesus comes onto the scene, that is the sunrise of God's love over humanity. In other words, at the dawn, you have some light, but it's not fully clear. But when you have the sun that comes up and it's in the sky, everything is illuminated. There's nothing that is not shown. Jesus gave us the clearest picture of who our God the Father is.